Today we're here in the beautiful Casino Theater in downtown Vandergrift, partially restored. Amy, we're going to be talking a little bit about economic development issues in the Kiski Valley and actually in some other areas, East Liberty and Johnstown as well.
And coming to you from the not-so-cheap seats, stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Wayne Teeple. As a business owner, I know the importance of long-term planning to the success of my business. Kensington Financial can help you set yourself on the course of long-term financial freedom. Please stay tuned for another exciting installment of Kensington Financial's Dollars and Cents with Ralph Phillips and Amy Tatron.
There is a bank that makes a great addition to any small business or a great beginning for any entrepreneur, a bank that's focused on building a personal relationship with you. Enterprise Bank employs highly professional relationship managers with a vested interest in helping your business grow. They themselves are small business entrepreneurs who can empathize with the challenges of growing a small business. For your business needs, count on Enterprise Bank, the bank that is built for your business.
Tired of struggling with uncomfortable, frustrating hearing aids? Are you ready to experience natural sound again? Well, Vivatone is your answer, a revolutionary new hearing aid that gives you the natural sound without the whistling and echo and noise that you're used to. And unlike many other traditional hearing aids, Vivatone doesn't require the creation of ear molds. To feel the immediate difference, visit Remetta Audiology for a no-obligation trial and ask about saving 20% on Vivatone.
Once again, welcome to Dollars and Cents. The continuing economic development of the areas in which we all live, work, and play is a subject that should concern all of us because it affects us all. I'm your co-host, Ralph Phillips, and today we'll be visiting and talking with some people who are very involved in the continuing development of areas of Western Pennsylvania. I'm joined, as always, by co-host Amy Tatron. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Ralph. You know, you're right about the effects of economic development. Unfortunately, many of us are too busy with our everyday routines to pay close attention to what's going on right in our own backyards. But today, we'll be visited with Allan Walzak and Wayne Teeple from Vandergrift and Ms. Lori Moran from Pittsburgh, who are going to enlighten us on projects already underway and share with us some very exciting long-term development projects happening right here in our own neighborhood. But first, before we get started, we're going to take a break and spend some time with some very important people, our sponsors. Please stick around to see what you may be missing in your own backyard. For all of your estate planning or estate settlement needs, you can depend on attorney Charles E. Weston to develop a plan that fits your specific need. With over 30 years of experience, your needs are in good hands. Call for a free consultation on any estate subject today.
Sponsored in part by Emeritus Variable Life Insurance Company, providing variable life and variable annuities since 1983. Emeritus Variable Life is a unified company.
Welcome back to Dollars and Cents. Economic development can be thought of as targeted efforts to attract new business into an area or to encourage existing businesses to expand. Joining us is Allan Walzak, President of the StrongLand Chamber of Commerce and President of Kiski Valley Enterprises. Allan, welcome to Dollars and Cents, and thank you for being here.
Well, Ralph, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.
Allan, you've been somewhat of a fixture in our community for more than 20 years, and you certainly serve on more boards of directors and are more active in the AK Valley than just about anybody I know. Let me start off by asking you, I guess, a very straightforward question. What would be your definition of economic development?
Well, economic development has a number of facets, and I don't want to go on too long about it, but it involves job creation, expansion of businesses. It goes beyond that. It involves tourism. It involves agriculture as well.
Allan, what are some of the most important economic development issues facing Western Pennsylvania in the next 10 years?
Well, in the next 10 years, basically it's job creation. In order to get to a position where we can offer places for businesses to locate and expand, we need to deal with infrastructural development, water, sewer, electric, all of those types of things. We have a good number of industrial parks that are already positioned to help in those directions. But we do have a lot of our older brownfield sites and our communities that actually can provide a good basis for added economic development if we can extend some of their infrastructures.
Allan, you also have something to do with the casino theater in Vandergrift. Can you tell us what your connection is and how it's part of the economic development issue?
Tourism and destination points are an important part of economic development as well. They help out all types of industries, whether it be the mom and pop industries, the restaurants, the clothing industries, transportation, etc. And so our goal is to try to improve upon the facility that we have here, make it become kind of a household word in southwestern Pennsylvania, and attract people to come to the Kiski region.
Allan, we have to take a break. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more economic development.
Don't wait until it's too late. Burglar, fire, hold-up, and medical alarms for your home, commercial, or industrial needs. Signalgraph Security is a local company that can provide you with the security and service you want. Signalgraph Security will custom design a system for your home or business at a reasonable price and provide you with prompt service when you need it most. At Signalgraph Security, you talk to the same people every time. So for all your security needs, and to save at least 10%, call Signalgraph Security, where your security is our concern.
Hi, I'm Ross Walker of the Ross Walker Funeral Home in New Kensington.
And I'm Lisa Walker. My brother and I are proud to carry on the tradition of caring for families as our father did before us.
Our reputation of dealing fairly and providing funerals for all faiths and nationalities dates back generations.
We believe our service is second to none. Call us at need or pre-need.
Visit our modern facilities. There's plenty of parking and we're conveniently located.
Welcome back to Kensington Financial's Dollars and Cents. We've been spending some time here talking about economic development in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and the fact that it's really somewhat of a sleeping giant, if you will. We are incredibly lucky today to be spending some time with my new friend Shelley Johannsen here at the Heritage Discovery Center in Johnstown. We're going to take some time and take a walk through the place, and Shelley, I hope you'll give me a lead and tell me what we're doing and what we're seeing.
Absolutely. Well, the Heritage Discovery Center opened in 2001, so it's a fairly new facility, and basically what it does tells the story of what it was like to be an immigrant to the area from Southern or Eastern Europe around the turn of the century, because that was overwhelmingly who was coming at that time. And it's kind of an experiential, hands-on thing because you get to choose one of these immigrant identity cards.
Can I be somebody?
Yes, you can be maybe a 12-year-old peasant boy from Joseph from Poland.
Okay, that works.
And there are parts of the exhibit that will respond to you as though you are that character.
Okay. How much of a shock was it to the new immigrants when they came to this country?
Well, it was huge. Most of these people were peasants. They were accustomed to working in green fields, open skies, unskilled labor. And here they are in this industrial, America's early industrial, because Johnstown was incredibly important in the early days of the iron and steel industry. So they came into this area and it was gray and it was polluted and totally new jobs for these country people. This section of the museum is about what it was like to work as an immigrant, because we've been through where you lived and where you worshiped, where you socialized. This is about where you worked. And tragically, at that time, industrial safety standards were not what they are today. And a lot of people died. There were a lot of terrible accidents, a lot of debilitating accidents, and not a whole lot of a safety net for you if you were a victim of something like that.
Well, I'm very distressed to find out that my character is actually the poor young thing that's trapped underneath this coal cart.
He survives, though, because he does, because he's our icon and we have to have him. So
beautiful. Outstanding. I'm glad to know I'm still alive. I know that unions hadn't really started to come into their own as of yet, but I think this shows really the beginning of unionization.
Exactly. Unions didn't really reach Johnstown in a major way until the early 1940s. And one of the things that people used to do was to segregate the workers by their ethnic group, partially so they can communicate in their own language, but also so it would make it harder to organize, and it was a pretty effective tactic. And so not until the 40s, which is a lot later than most people realize.
Shelley, this is called the Frank and Sylvia Pasquarella Discovery Center.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about literally how this came to be?
Originally, the Johnstown Area Heritage Association was formed to tell the story of the Johnstown flood. The organization dates back to 1971, opened a flood museum, and did a big renovation of that flood museum in 1989 to mark the centennial of the flood. And after that big success, it sort of broadened our focus to tell other stories, like the story of immigration, the story of early industrial America, that is such a part of this facility. And it became sort of an overall dream to make Johnstown's past be a big part of our future.
Mm-hmm. How have projects like this, in your opinion, affected the economic development opportunities in the Johnstown area?
Well, I think museums are a huge quality of life issue. And when I first moved to Johnstown, before I came because of my husband's job, I looked around and I saw museums, and I saw the Pasquarella Performing Arts Center, and I thought, okay, I can live here. And I think that any person looking for a place to live, or any business looking for a place to locate, looks for those quality of life things, like museums. We also have a big music festival, free music festival called the Johnstown Folk Fest, and they look for that kind of activity and that kind of community involvement and excitement as a place to live and a place to work. It's not only about attracting tourists to come and see the museums and spend the night in the hotel, although it's certainly about that too. But it's a much bigger picture than that.
We started off this conversation 15 or 20 minutes ago talking about the fact that I believe that Johnstown is a sleeping giant.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the things that may be coming up in the future that would wake up this giant, and more and more people will take notice of the town.
Yes. Well, there's certainly the Children's Discovery Museum. That's something that we're excited about. We're also opening another museum called the Wagner Ritter House and Garden. It's this, from the domestic point of view, it is a worker's house. The same family lived in this house from the 1860s to the 1980s, and we are renovating it into a house museum. If you think about house museums, it's usually someone very rich or someone very famous. This is the average guy. This is you and me at that time, what it was like to live. And so the more that we add, the more such things are added, it sort of becomes sort of a snowball effect, because the excitement builds, more things become possible, more people buy into the vision of Johnstown being revitalized by its history.
I have never seen so many businesses work so hard to cross-promote.
Yes.
It really has struck us in our travels in Johnstown, because that's really the basis for our show, family and community.
Right.
So I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to show us the Discovery Center.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Folks, we'll be right back with more Kensington Financials Dollars and Cents, so stay tuned.
If your investments aren't performing the way you expect, chances are neither is your agent. At Kensington Financial, we know the most important part of financial service is service itself. As a local independent, our commitment to customer service starts and ends with your needs, not the needs of your broker. For a no-obligation review, call Kensington Financial today. Unlike your current advisor, we'll call you back. Kensington Financial, your planning partner.
Have you visited Heights Plaza Shopping Center recently? Heights Plaza is a 400,000 square foot Macy's anchored center located in Natrona Heights and has been in operation for over 50 years. Heights Plaza has over 50 businesses featuring Macy's, Dunham's, and Sears, and is conveniently located on Freeport Road in the hub of the Natrona Heights community, 3 minutes from exit 15 of Route 28. Try our new 28,000 square foot medical and professional building under renovation and ready for lease. For leasing information, please call Lori Moran at 412-566-1993.
Welcome back to Dollars and Cents. There is so much history and information at Vandergrift's Casino Theater and the Johnstown Discovery Center, anyone can understand why they are great attractions and a big part of economic development. It goes without saying that basics of economic development come into play when a community's people, goods, and services are easily accessible. Here to talk with us are Wayne Teeple, Vice President, and David Truffa, President of the Vandergrift Improvement Program.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on Dollars and Cents.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Vandergrift has been enjoying somewhat of a renaissance in recent years, and both of you have been a driving force behind it. What's your involvement with the Vandergrift community, and what can you share with us that enhances Vandergrift economically?
We have a history here in Vandergrift. There was the working man, and going back to the working man, that's what we're trying to bring it back to, where you have a working community, and we have the community involved with us right now. Not only do we have the community involved with us, we have a lot of partners that we've brought on board to enhance the economic development in Vandergrift, not only with the buildings, but by marketing the town also.
What exactly is the purpose of your organization? What are you guys trying to accomplish here?
Well, we want to bring back the livelihood of the town. The people, the economics, the businesses, just the town itself. Everybody in the area used to know that it sparkled, and through the time it hasn't. But we think it still can again, and that's part of what we want to work with.
Gentlemen, what are some of the most important economic development issues that you are working on here in Vandergrift?
One would be economic development, to bring new businesses into Vandergrift. We're very fortunate we don't have that many vacant buildings. Of course, you look at it sometimes and it looks like there's a lot of vacant, but there's not. That's one of the aspects, is to build the business district up. Another one would be streetscapes. We can make it look pretty. The problem is we don't have anybody coming to town, so we have to market it. So with those three things would be the buildings, the streetscape, and marketing the town.
What is the Main Street certification? What is that?
The Main Street program is a program that Pennsylvania, actually it's a national program, where they try to revitalize the main streets in small communities. Mm-hmm. And what's so funny is when some of these people that are building malls and shopping centers try to imitate a main street. Mm. But we have the real thing here. And the Main Street program is just, it's a 5-year program. In reality, it goes on beyond that. So we have to keep it going beyond our 5-year program. But it's to renovate the downtown area and the businesses and revitalize them.
Have you received some cooperation from the local businesses? I would have to assume that some of the people here in Vandergrift just have to be so excited about what you guys are trying to do.
We've had probably very close to 100% cooperation with the business owners. The borough itself has been behind us with everything that we've done. That's been some of the things that have come easily, have been the people that want to work with us. I mean, we have ideas as business owners in town. We see things and would like them to happen, and then we think, well, we're the only ones. But then once we start talking, we find out that the whole town wants this to happen.
This is, Vandergrift is actually my old stomping grounds. I graduated from high school at Kiski area, so it's very heartening to me personally to hear that so many good things are happening here from the two of you, from Allan Walzak and having a chance to take a look at this beautiful theater. David, Wayne, thank you so much for being on Dollars and Cents. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. We're going to take a quick break and recognize some of our wonderful sponsors. We'll be right back with more on economic development and a visit with our dear friend and neighbor, Miss Lori Moran, so please don't go anywhere.
Sponsored in part by Emeritus Variable Life Insurance Company, providing variable life and variable annuities since 1983. Emeritus Variable Life is a unified company.
For all of your estate planning or estate settlement needs, you can depend on Attorney Charles E. Weston to develop a plan that fits your specific need. With over 30 years of experience, your needs are in good hands. Call for a free consultation on any estate subject today.
Welcome back to Kensington Financial's Dollars and Cents. Today we're talking with Lori Moran, Vice President of Bally Money Company. And Lori, could you please tell us a little bit about what you do for the company, a little bit about your company?
Sure. We have a small company that focuses primarily on grocery-anchored shopping centers. We handle just one or two projects at a time. We typically own and manage. We buy to hold long-term, typically. Our comfort level is grocery-anchored centers anywhere from maybe 100,000 to 400,000 square feet, anywhere in that range. It's owned by a gentleman who is an attorney by trade and is involved in a few different avenues. One of them is real estate, and I handle his real estate for him.
One of the things that we wanted to talk about today, Lori, were some of the specific projects that you are actively involved in East Liberty and here in the Kiski Valley. I was lucky enough to have to be able to spend some time with you touring the area, and it's changed so much from the way I remember it 10, 15 years ago. Can you tell us maybe just about a few of them,
Sure.
some of the big oones?
We have a new hotel coming in, which we're really excited about. It'll be a full-service Holiday Inn, and attached to it is going to be a 7-story condominium building, which is going to also have access to all of these amenities, which would be really great. Room service in your condo. We have Whole Foods, which I think we mentioned had already come in. We have a new Shop and Save, which opened in March, full corporate Shop and Save, 52,000 square foot Shop and Save store. There is Echo Development is doing a very large, gorgeous giant eagle, which is on Center Avenue, and they have condominiums going with that also. The Village of Eastside is what it's called. It's on Penn Avenue, right next to the big old Nabisco Bakery, right off 5th Avenue. And it's kind of there are 4 entryways into East Liberty, and that's one of the entryways into East Liberty off of 5th Avenue from Shady Side, Squirrel Hill. And so we will be looking for, we have a few tenants for it right now, which I'd love to announce, but we can't. But it's going to be really hugely exciting for East Liberty.
Folks, we're going to take a real quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more with Lori about how economic development affects our communities and how it affects our families.
During Ladle's Kitchen, I am here to show you how to make marvelous soups for your family, great entrees, desserts, and even some appetizers. But my other love is decorating. As you can see, many of these items were purchased at Ladle's Country Cupboard, just a few steps away. Visit Ladle's Country Cupboard to pick up an item for your home or for your kitchen. Thank you.
How key to the redevelopment of East Liberty has been the cooperation and support of existing businesses, existing business people?
Very cooperative. There's been a tremendous, the reception from the residents and from local businesses has been really good. We're helping, we meaning the folks who are really focusing on the development aspects, are being very responsible. It's not just let's build it and lease it to whomever comes in. Being very selective in what tenants come in, that the caliber of, they're financially sound. They're not going to come in, open up shop, and then leave 3 years later. So it's been a real coordinated effort, primarily between ELDI, which is East Liberty Development Incorporated, and the East Liberty Chamber of Commerce have both worked very, very hard to get together a whole master plan of East Liberty. And what they did, in essence, was they hired a consultant who came in and said, you can spend $15 million and dump it into the center of East Liberty, and you're going to have $15 million of development in the middle of East Liberty, or you can strategically place that money around East Liberty, and then people will come in, you'll draw them in, and then private developers will come in and do the rest. And that's what's happening.
Lori, you're talking about all these exciting projects that are going on, hotels, retail stores, grocery stores. I have a family, 3 kids. I love to shop. What do you have a specific target market that you're trying to hit with all these projects, or what does it actually do for families?
We have target markets. It depends on where the project is located. If you're talking about East Liberty in particular, we would target a little bit of everyone in East Liberty because you have families. You would look at your market and say we have Highland Park, we have Shadyside, we draw from Squirrel Hill, we draw from East Liberty, we draw from different areas that have a lot of singles. You have students, but we also have families. We have the hospitals nearby. So you kind of look at your market and then tenant to meet your market.
What about around here, Lori? Is there anything going on? I know you have a little bit to do with Natrona Heights Plaza.
Heights Plaza, yes. We owned it for about 15 years, and then we sold it about 2 years ago, but we still manage the property. Heights Plaza, Natrona Heights, this whole market area is wonderful. It's very stable. It's very, it's not sexy, but it's very stable, and it's been very loyal. The shoppers and my experience is Heights Plaza, so I can speak with that very comfortably. Very loyal shoppers. We're very careful. If you want to talk about tenant mix there, tenant mix is critical to a shopping center, to long-term integrity of the shopping center. Instead of just throwing a tenant in to get rent, you hold a space until you have the tenant that works. You need, you as a mother and a family have certain needs, and you need to meet those needs so that you come to shop at Heights Plaza for everything you need, whether you need groceries, if you need a dress for an evening out, your daughter needs shoes, whatever I want to be able to provide all of those in our shopping center.
So it's great to know that there's huge corporations out there working for me to bring me what I want, what I need.
Your money.
That's great.
Yeah, and Heights Plaza, it's doing very well. A question that a lot of people are asking is, well, what is the Mills Mall? How does it impact the Heights Plaza? And it was interesting leading up to the development of the Mills site, and that everybody's like, but it's a completely different market. It's a different. Anybody who was shopping in Heights Plaza before the Mills came in, if they wanted to go to Original Mall, they would go to Monroeville, they would go to Russ Park. So it really cannibalized their centers more so than ours, because we have we cater to a lot of the local community. We're right at the hub of the community. We have 2 high schools, a junior high, major churches, municipal building, all within walking distance. So it's very stable and we're strong as ever.
Lori, there is so much that we could talk about. I hope that you'll come back and talk with us again about economic development. Thank you so much for being here on Dollars and Cents. We've seen today how economic development can have a major long-term impact on a community's existence. The creation of jobs and wealth, making goods and services accessible, and growth and restructuring contributes to building a local economy, enhancing the well-being of a community, and making Western Pennsylvania a great place to live, work, and play.
That's about all the time we have. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you'll join us next week for more Kensington Financial's Dollars and Cents. If you have any questions about today's show on economic development, Ralph and I hope you'll send us an email to questions@kensingtonfinancial.com or give us a call at 724-334-1950. And special thanks to our guests, Allan Walzak, Wayne Teeple, Shelley Johannsen, and Lori Moran. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Peace. Once again, I've lost control of my own show. Chief and Rob, you can eat your hearts out because I'm on TV with your women, so suffer.
To the events that are going right.
I'm your co-host. Okay.
You're going to have to start over. You're not helping her.
You have nothing to add. You're fired.
We had a great conversation.
Ms. Lori Moran, Vice President with Bally Money Corporation, Incorporated. Lori, thank you so much for being on Dollars and Cents.
You can't do that.
What? What?
I'm sorry, you said Incorporated twice.
Did I say it twice? Bally Money Corporation, Incorporated.